Okay, so we're briefly going to go over a few basic Excel formulas. We went over some of this in class the other night, but I did skip this one since I was working with a Windows keyboard at the time. So I'm going to start with this one here, and then we'll go through the others. A lot of this you will see on other Excel lectures in your Excel toolbox. You're going to see some of these formulas on your Excel tutorial and even some of your Excel cases in this course. Some of these things will also show up on the test. So because they show up in multiple places in this class, there will be some overlap. I want you to be exposed multiple times to how to do some of these formulas. I know it may seem very basic, but this is really the best way to learn Excel. So we're going to start with, like I said, with this one here. We are going to use an if function to tell Excel to place an A for all of our A grades over here. So for example, in this class, an A is anything greater than an 89.9. And the reason I'm going to use 89.9, if I don't use that, if I use 90, it's not going to place an A here with the formula. Okay, so we do this by typing equals if. Now, when I type formulas in Excel, I always click it here. Just because that tells you that one, makes it less likely that you're going to have a typo, but two, it reminds you what the formula looks like. So we have if B4 is greater than 89.9. So our value, if true, we want to return an A into the column. Our value, if false, for now, we're just going to return a blank cell. Now you can get more specific and tell Excel to return a B for the B grades, a C for the C grades. We're not going to get that detailed at this point. So we're just going to open quotations. We're going to type a space to return a blank cell, close quotation, and then close parentheses. Then we hit enter. Now to drag that formula down, you can see it returned an A for your 100. To drag it down, you want to hold your cursor over the bottom right corner of the cell until you see this black cross symbol here. If you don't drag it there, it looks like this. So you want to make sure you see that before you drag it down. Drag it all the way down and you can see Excel placed an A next to all the A grades in the course. So now for our average, we do equals average. Now we select the range. Oops. Close parentheses and hit enter. For median, and again, a lot of these are very simple. I'm going to give you an Excel shortcuts with some of these formulas. It'll be a document probably in the administrative module. So just so that you have those reminders, because again, in this course, I don't necessarily expect you to memorize the formulas. I really just want you to practice with them and get familiar with them. So median, select our range, close parentheses, hit enter. Median is the middle number. Now our mode, that would be the most common number. So we do equals mode, select our range, close parentheses, hit enter. So the most common grade in the course would have been a 95. So for our standard deviation, we have equal, standard deviation, select all the grades, close parentheses, enter. So this minimum would be the lowest grade in the course, for example, equals min, select our range, close parentheses, hit enter. Maximum in this case would be the highest grade in the class. Want to do equals max, select our grades, close parentheses, hit enter. Okay, now to add in Excel, there are multiple ways that you can do this, but again, very simple. Here, I'm just going to use cells for these addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I'm going to use just cells B4 and B5 as an example. So all you would do is equals B4 plus, select B5 and hit enter. For subtraction would be equals B4 minus B5, hit enter. Now for multiplication, we're going to do B4, your little asterisk is how you multiply in Excel, B5, enter. And then for division equals B4, we have this backslash is how you divide, B5, hit enter. Okay, so now we have our COUNTIF formula. So what I want to tell Excel here to do is count all of the grades that are B or higher. So we do equals, COUNTIF. For our range, we select that here. And for our criteria, open parentheses, greater than, let's see, it would be 79.9. Anything greater than 79.9 in this course, for example, would be a B. Close parentheses, close quotation, close parentheses, hit enter. So we have 14 people in the course who made a B or higher. And then for our total, that is our sum function. So we do equals sum, select our range. This is basically just getting this total of all these grades together, which there's no reason you would actually do that in a course, but that's just an example here. Just know that when you see total, that's the sum function. Okay, so we already did this one, but another formula that you will need to know, place a formula in cell E19. And I actually added a column, so that's supposed to be F19. F19 that will raise the value in cell B18 to the power of the value in cell, it's supposed to be H1, because I did add a row. Okay, so we do that by, we're going to use F19. And we are going to do equals. We want B18, and we want to raise that to the power of the value in cell H1. To raise it to the power, you just add your little caret symbol here, select H1, and hit enter. So that is all for this worksheet. Now for some basic formatting. So we're going to format cell D3 so that it appears as a percentage with 2 decimal places. So here is cell D3. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the whole D column, but I just want to give you an idea of how you would format these numbers. So we're going to select the numbers here. The easiest way that I get to it, now there are multiple ways in Excel to access different things. I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, when you're playing around, you may find different ways that you find it to be more efficient. So I just right click, format cells. Now we go to number, and then we want these grades to be a percentage with 2 decimal places. So watch what happens when we do that. And again, that's not really, you're never going to do your grades like that, but I'm just giving you an idea of how you would format numbers in different ways. So let's just say we wanted to try something different. We right click, format cells. Let's just say this was money. I'm going to calculate it as currency using the dollar symbol. Let's say I don't want any decimal places. I would remove those, and then it would look like that. So what I want you to do is go back to this and just look at all these different things. We're going to get to this in a little bit with how you can format different dates and times, but just kind of go through these, familiarize yourself with all of the different options. Okay, so center the titles on row 2. So to do that, I'm just going to select my titles here on row 2. And center them. All right, merge cells A1, B1, C1, and D1 and center the title. So I just select these cells and I go to merge and center. All right, fill the cells on row 1 and 2 between columns A and D with yellow. Be sure that the borders of the cells are still visible. Okay, so we're going to select those cells. We just fill them with yellow. As you can see here, the borders are not still visible. So the way that you can edit your borders, you can highlight here. Again, go back to format cells. And then you can edit your different borders here. This is another place I want you to kind of play around with the options just to see what it looks like. So there, we added some borders. Okay, bold and underline the course name. So we're just going to select it here, bold and underline.